Hello, everyone, and welcome to Disney Magic Podcast, a fun new Disney podcast hosted by a British guy. I'm your host, Zach Campbell, and you can join me every other week for magical stories, amazing guests, intriguing history, and overall a trip down Main Street, USA. From Disney parks to a galaxy far, far away, we'll be talking all things Disney and just how magical it is. Get ready for this episode because it's starting in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Disney Magic Podcast here on Disney Magic Zach. I am your host, the one and only Zach, and I am joined by some familiar faces and one brand new face here to the podcast. We have Steve, who is a familiar. We've got Shaz, who is a familiar. We've got Lewis, who is a familiar, who's just popped out. He will be back in just a moment. And our special guest for the evening is Eric. So, Eric, hi, how's it going?
I'm doing well, hanging in there and just enjoying my Saturday, hanging out with you guys.
Good. We're happy to have you, man. We're happy to have you. So, if you want to introduce yourself a little bit, just tell us who you are, what you do. Same with you guys. I mean, if you
Nobody
really want
needs to know what we do.
everyone knows what you do at this point.
I live in Central Florida on the East Coast. I work at a hospital, and I help our registration team. Kind of like also a IT liaison as well, just make sure that their applications work. And I go to Disney much as I can. So.
Nice.
Another
So
IT.
Yeah.
Yay, more IT people.
Kind of know a little bit, but
So, are you an annual pass holder?
yes, I am an annual pass holder.
Nice.
Since 2016, so
Nice.
it's been fun.
Yeah.
Nice. Good times. And as you can tell by the title, well, we've got Steve. We've got Expedition Steve. You know what he does. He does stuff. Signs of amusement. What's this? Shaz.
Yeah.
She's got middle-aged magic. She's the one half of two ladies of a certain age that share Disney and Days Out and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Lewis is the
Guru.
man the guru of Disney, who just literally anything. He's the mind's full of random Disney knowledge and just random knowledge in
animatronics.
general. Animatronics, yeah. And then there's me. I'm just
Zach.
here. I'm just here. I'm just Zach, man.
I'm just Disney magic.
Disney magic. Zach. Yeah. You give me a lot of stick for the way I say Disney because I don't pronounce it properly. I don't.
You don't pronounce it proper.
Proper, innit? You know what I mean? It's
Properly.
because Shaz is from down south of England and I'm from up north, so I don't pronounce certain letters of the alphabet because they just don't exist. So up here we only have
They don't exist.
we just have like 20 letters in the alphabet rather than like
26.
26. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, as you can tell by the title, we are going to be talking about defunct rides from both Disneyland. Well, I say defunct rides, but kind of like defunct rides, attractions, kind of like
Stuff.
short-lived like things that they had in the parks and stuff. And there's a fair few that I mean, if we don't get through them all, absolutely fine. We can look at doing a part 2 because I love talking about this stuff. It's one of my favorite kind of like topics for sure. I love like researching this. It's watching like Defunct Land, Jester Worlds, all of those kind of like channels that kind of like hone into this and do like the documentaries are just fantastic. I absolutely love them all. So this is like one of my favorite topics to talk about. So, I mean, if you guys have got any that you do want to bring up that you know that you feel free to, absolutely fine. But let's jump into it. I mean, I feel like we've got to start the original park. And one that holds in many people's hearts. Steve will know. Everybody knows. It's
The People Mover.
The People Mover. It's got sadly ripped apart from fans years and years ago because of those damned rocket rods, and it's never been brought back because of one reason or another. But like, Steve, did you ever get to ride the People Mover?
Oh yeah, many times.
Yeah, and how was it? Like, was it I mean, you've never been to Disney World, but have you watched the Disney World version?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And is it similar to the Disney World version, or no, not at all?
No.
I can actually talk about both versions.
Yeah, because Louis been on both, so
yeah.
Louis, please enlighten us. What
right?
differences?
So while WDW is cool because it uses what's called linear induction engines to power the cars from the TTA hub back to the TTA hub, doing the second story tour of WDW or MK Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
The original DLRA version is, in my opinion, better than the Walt Disney version because with linear induction, you can't have more than a 0.5 degree grade, either going up or going down.
Yeah.
Whereas, and Steve can attest to this, in California, they have grades as going as much as 8%.
Yeah, because
they're
went
actually
up and down hills, didn't it?
Well, they're like ramps that you're going up and down, especially around the back end of the submarine voyage and the Allweg monorail.
Yeah.
There's some pretty good rises and falls, or like I said, grades of greater than 8%.
Yeah,
so,
this is the biggest one I think is the one that comes from the tunnel from Carousel of Progress or America Sings, and then it goes down over Autopia. That grade is
that grade's
really
gotta be 8% at least.
Wow.
I mean, I don't mean to be getting into all these complex engineering terms. It's just it helps describe it distinctly.
Yeah.
That being said, and also the music is the best ride music ever made. Would you not agree with that, Steve?
Yes.
The People Mover theme music is the best song attraction soundtrack ever made for an attraction from 1955 to the present. Absolutely.
Wow.
And it is available on YouTube for your listening pleasure.
Oh yeah, I have to give that a listen. I mean,
32 minutes long, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I love watching the old People Mover at Disneyland. It just looks so impressive, and the way that it kind of integrates with all the different rides and
kinetic energy.
Yeah,
kinetic energy.
And that's the big problem with it, and why they can't just take the tracks out, because it is integrated with everything, or so I believe.
Right.
It would be well nigh impossible to refurb it as it currently stands at DLRA.
Yeah.
Because one of your ADA access requirement, which is, a U.S. federal law for my friends in the UK, and two, because of California specific construction requirements in regards to earthquake preparedness and earthquake withstanding.
Yeah.
That I've seen a couple of engineering cost estimates, and right now today, if we got started with the total green light along with permitting from California and Orange County and City of Anaheim, the estimates for the total refurbishment would run in excess of, what was it, 2.1 billion United States dollars.
Wow. Oh my days.
Now, remember, they built Disney Sea back in 2001 for $5 billion USD.
Yeah.
Just putting that out as your base reference point. And then, what was it, Steve? Galaxy's Edge came in at a whopping what?
Yeah, like I think it was like 2 billion or something like that.
2 billion USD.
I think so, yeah.
So, in order to replace that single attraction for 2.1 billion USD, you might as well rip the whole thing out and rebuild Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
I mean, Disneyland's Tomorrowland needs a refurb. It's never recovered from, what was it, 2065 or whatever they tried to call it, or whatever it was.
Well, you're talking about the Tomorrowland 1998, the retro Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
Trying to fake it till we make it. Jules Verne, Discoveryland over DLP.
Yeah.
Right. Good job with that.
I went in there. So when I visited Disneyland, when they had that, I only went into Tomorrowland that one time, and then I avoided that place because I absolutely hated the look.
And it's just a shame because Tomorrowland's like my favorite part of Magic.
Yeah, I know. Mine too.
Yeah. and it's just
and then when they took the people mover out and they put these rocket rod things in there. And,
Wait a minute. Zach, just want to hear you correctly now. So Tomorrowland over at WDWMK is your favorite part of the park?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
The people movers there.
What?
For me as well.
Are you for real right now?
No,
you're flipping me out.
No, I love the people mover. I love the atmosphere. And I think honestly, for me, it's a nostalgia thing as well, because when I first visited WDW in 2011, it was the first part of the park that I went to. We had dinner there, we had like lunch, and then we kind of like funneled down to Main Street to watch down the bridge to watch the fireworks. I mean, Stitch's Great Escape was there. We're going to get to that. That ride was fucking terrifying, but we're going to get to that in a little bit.
Terrifying.
Terrifying.
It was terrifying when it was Alien Encounter. It was much better.
I can't believe I'm hearing this. The best part of MK, hands down, is Adventureland. Hands down.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough, but like
hands down, brother.
I mean, Frontierland's pretty good. I mean, Frontierland's got Big Thunder Mountain.
BTM. Yeah, that's surely the best place.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lewis is going to leave in a minute.
No, I'm good. No, because we're talking about my favorite subject, defunct attractions. I'm going to be here till the end. Make no mistake.
No, I mean, I absolutely love Tomorrowland. It's my favorite part.
That's fair. Look, I love the Skyway from Fantasyland to Tomorrowland. My favorite all-time Tomorrowland attraction at WDW. Absolutely, hands down.
100%.
And of course, that's defunct too. So
yeah, and that's on my list as well. So it's all good. Eric, what have you got anything to say about this? The people mover. Have you ever experienced it at Disneyland or?
I've never been to Disneyland.
Never been to Disneyland.
No,
we got to get you there, man.
Yeah.
Trying to.
What are your thoughts on the people mover then? This is an important topic.
I really
have you seen any videos?
Not for the Disneyland ride, no. So I'm gonna have to do that, watch them. But usually, the one here, I just use it a way to get out of the sun, relax a little bit.
Fair. I mean, for me, it's anytime I enter Magic Kingdom, it's the first ride I ride. It has to be. It's like a law in my family to like ride. It's the first thing we do. So I held that tradition.
Last ride. Yeah, our last ride of the day.
Yeah.
I like riding it at night because this kid gets such a great view of everything.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I did ride it at night, like just on my own when I was like before I came out of the park. When I did the Big Thunder and everything, like I did that just myself, and it was absolutely gorgeous, breathtaking.
Really,
until you get stuck like we did.
Yeah, until you got stuck
at Disneyland. I got stuck at Disneyland.
Oh no!
Oh, you've been evacuated, Steve? You've been evacuated on People
Mover?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow, that's cool.
At night.
Wow.
Above the subs. So.
Oh my days.
Oh.
So that was a little scary.
That's a little nutty. Oh yeah.
Right, get your scuba gear on, guys. You're diving in. But yeah, the people mover is a big topic in the community. It really is.
I think if they tried to take it out of Disney World, there would be a riot.
Oh, 100%. I don't think they ever.
100%.
I don't think they ever would. I don't think they ever would. They can't. Like, it's not allowed to. Sticking in Tomorrowland, Stitch's Great Escape. This ride was. 2011. I remember riding this ride. It was probably honestly, it terrified me, and I was 16, and it was.
Why did it terrify you?
It wasn't. Because I didn't know what to expect, and then I've got like the best story. There was like this 6-year-old kid, and you know the bit where it goes pitch black, and like the air kind of like funnels into the chairs. Yep. This kid just screamed blue murder, like top of their voice. Screamed. There was like, get me out. I was like, I can't even. This poor kid.
I think Elma was about 5 when she rode it the first time. She thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
On Stitch's Great Escape, what's even cooler is Alien Encounter, which is the iteration before Stitch.
Yes, yeah.
That that was raising the white hairs on the back of your neck, man.
Oh yeah, that was like borderline. That was
would
like
make you-
horror. Yeah.
That would make you void yourself in your seat. It was brilliant. Absolutely.
My gosh, honestly.
It had
cool thing
already
about
swapped to Stitch
The
when
cool
I
thing
went
about
the
the
first time.
attraction
Yeah.
was that they repurposed Mission to Mars to build it.
Yeah.
If everybody knows what Mission to Mars is,
Mhm.
back in the old times, you know what I mean? And yeah, that's how they had like the, I don't know, theater in the round, if you will, with the seats
Yeah.
configured around the main stage where you had either the Xenomorph from Alien Encounter or Stitch from Stitch's Great Escape.
Yeah.
Brilliant repurposing, retheming of the attraction space.
Yeah.
You know, especially with all the new special effects for it.
Yeah,
Very
it was
cool.
it was a very cool ride. It really, really was. The
Absolutely.
animatronic was done really well. The the show itself was great.
Absolutely.
It's just a shame that the area now is just like
Dead.
unutilized.
Nothing.
Yeah, they're not using it
Yeah.
for anything at
They did
all.
use it for a
Storage.
meet and greet and then storage, and then they were using it for a candy pickup, weren't they? For the
Yeah.
Nazi
Well, if I
Halloween.
remember,
Yes.
if I remember rightly, where I met Stitch at the Halloween party, that was like the queue for it,
Mhm.
Right.
like under that little canopy.
Yeah.
So that still kind of Stitch-esque, but like they need to do something with that area.
I
'cause
don't
it's
understand
just-
why they closed it when they did. Because
No.
yeah, it probably needed a bit of TLC, but they could have kept it open.
Could have kept, yeah. I mean, they could have kept it open. And Stitch is always like a fan favorite anyway.
Yeah.
Like he's one of the characters that people love, and it would have done well no matter what if it was open now. I think, but I don't know.
Well, Eric, here's a question. When was the last time you were there at Magic Kingdom?
Magic Kingdom. Probably a couple months ago.
Right. So is Merchant of Venus still closed?
I'm not sure. Where's that located?
That's located next to where Stitch's Great Escape used to be.
Merchant Venus.
So, like, if we're walking into Tomorrowland from Hub, it's on
Yeah.
your left, whereas on your right is Laugh Factory.
Laughter
Yeah.
floor.
And
It was
Buzz
open the last
Lightyear.
time I was there. It was open.
Okay, so then they definitely do something with that space that's been vacated by Stitch's Great Escape. Agreed.
Yeah.
Because they got that giant show building, they could do something really special in there.
Oh, they could absolutely. They could do something with it, but again, like I don't know how much of the ride. Well, no, because they use it for storage, don't they? So there's surely none of the ride would be left in there.
Oh no, the ride's been
They haven't-
dismantled.
Yeah, it's just completely gone. Yeah. So let's get something going in there. Like surely it can't be that hard to figure something out, or just utilize that space for something. Like surely not.
Absolutely.
Like they've done for that space in Epcot that looks like a canteen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Communicore
Communicore.
Hall.
Yep.
I had very mixed views. I was like, right, I'm going to Epcot, but like, do I really want to go to Communicore Hall? And I kind of avoided it like the plague. I walked past it. I was like, I know it's going to be shit in there, and just went the other way. I'm like,
It's still crap in there, and there's a festival on at the moment.
Well, I was going to say, see, every time I go to Epcot, I have to go because Club Cool is right there, and it's the only place at Walt Disney World you can get Beverly.
I still haven't
It's like the only
that yet.
No, I've never had
the
it.
only place like literally south of Atlanta I can get Beverly. On
Worst
tap.
drink
Sam and
ever.
I are going to go and drink it.
That's an opinion.
Do you like
That's
it,
an opinion.
Lewis?
I'm going to say it changes your life.
It's like
I'm
Marmite.
gonna
You
say-
either love it or you hate it.
Yeah. See,
I won't like it.
No,
With
you won't
Beverly,
like it.
with Beverly, I've heard it's Italian, isn't it?
Yeah.
But they
Yes.
use it as a way to cleanse the palate.
It's
Clean
called
your
an
shoes
aperitif. The official word is
An aperitif.
aperitif.
Yes,
Right.
yeah.
It's disgusting.
And an aperitif is meant to cleanse the palate. Yes,
Yeah,
you're absolutely
yeah.
correct.
Sam and I are going to take some shots of it when we go in November.
I'm
Just
hoping
gonna
to be there
do a
with
video.
them because I'll guzzle it like a
Oh
monkey.
yeah, we
You'll
can
see
do it the
It's
day
funny
that
as
you
hell.
come, Lewis. We can do it together.
Why'd you
Right.
just drink bleach? It's the same thing.
Because
You're
of
like
my-
Donald Trump.
It'll
Jesus.
be all right.
That was a bit dark, that Steve. Bloody hell.
Jeez. You're trying to get rid of us. Actually, no, don't answer that.
Yeah.
My gosh, nah.
But back to the point. I mean, there's so many properties, so many IPs that you could play off that space that was vacated.
100%.
Like, yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense to keep it vacated as long as they have.
Just put a new Stitch ride in there.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
And you could even do like a soaring or flight of passage attraction.
Yeah, that would fit in that building.
Where you do like the whole Stitch, Lilo, and David surfing scene from the film.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
And
you could fly in a spaceship and be chased by a Gantu. You could do all sorts of cool stuff.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I mean, there's so much things you could explore with that franchise.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It'd be really, really cool, and it's like kid friendly, so totally cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Just stay in there and ride it over and over again.
Same.
And then right adjacent to that, you'd have your Stitch and Lilo and Stitch meet and greet.
Meet and greet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you could have, you could have David, you could have Commander Bantu, you could have the entire,
you could have Pleakley with his one eye.
Various meet and greets throughout the day. That'd be really cool.
Can have Jumba. That'd be cool.
Right. The professor and everything. Absolutely.
I love Jumba. He's like one of my favorite characters. So good.
Because he's like a big fat Russian.
yeah, he's great. I love him.
He's like the Edgar one of our developers at work. He's like that.
Oh, and you could do a food concession next to it and make Moco Loco.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Because Disney does a lot of things good. Moco Loco is one of them when they do it for like the Flower and Garden Festival.
Yeah. No, that sounds good. That we need to get that going. If anyone from Disney's listening, make it happen. Let's do it.
Exactly. Bring more Stitch to the park.
Bring more Stitch to the park. Absolutely. If you're not going to open a new gate, give us more Stitch. Like, figure it out. All right, we're hopping over to Hollywood Studios. And
wait a minute. We ain't discussed the Skyway yet. The Skyway, Zach.
It's coming.
About Defunct's attractions in Tomorrowland. Let's talk about the Skyway.
We're in Tomorrowland. We might as well do it while we're here.
Okay, fine. All right, cool. We're hopping back on.
He's got to scratch his list off and put it together.
God. My podcast is going to shit. No, I'm joking. No, let's talk about the Skyway then, because this is Disneyland, California. It went from Fantasyland to Tomorrowland. It went through the Matterhorn. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, another ride that sadly I won't get to experience, but like, I mean, if any of you guys have experienced,
it was amazing.
Like,
actually,
yeah.
Zach, when you come back to Florida, we can go to Busch Gardens and experience it.
Oh, cool. Okay,
they have a Von Roll VR 101 at Busch Gardens, Tampa.
Oh, cool. Okay,
that's
cool.
working. They just refurbished it at the cost of like $3 million.
Wow,
it's totally up and running. I've been on it. It rocks.
Nice.
It's not Disney cool, but it's Von Roll cool, and that's enough.
Yeah,
absolutely, for sure. That sounds cool.
It's like in San Diego. They have it over here
at the San Diego Zoo,
or over here, over down there. Yeah,
and it is the longest.
I still think I'll still live there.
You don't.
No, I know.
And they also have the one at SeaWorld in California too.
Yes.
Well,
they had the. I don't know if they still have it at the zoo. Do they? And then the other one is at SeaWorld.
Yeah, they have both. They have the one at the zoo and they have one at SeaWorld. So they have two of them.
Oh, sweet.
And they're both VR 101 types, which is same as both Disney DLRA and MK in Florida.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Now, the Skyway looks very, very cool. The Sky Buckets look great. They really, really did. And I remember speaking to a cast member a while back on the podcast. He has a channel called Palm Springs Linguist. And he used to be a cast member of like late 70s, early 80s. And he told me that whenever like the motors went down, they had to like pull it by hand. Yes. Which was very like by a rope. It was very, very cool. Yes. I was like, wow, that must have took some like serious like body strength to do that.
Yes.
Like
the Anaheim Fire Department actually had a specially trained team to actually do egress from the buckets as they're suspended on the lines to do a complete evacuation in the event of an emergency.
Wow. Oh,
that's a little obscure trivia fact. You know what I mean?
There you go. Say
So
this is why Lewis
Like
is
the
like
quiz.
Orange County.
Hey, good to
Fire-
know. It's good to know.
Orange County Fire additionally had a specially trained unit that could do egress.
Wait, so
from the
you don't
buckets while they're
reach you don't reach around and open the door and fall out like that guy?
No, you wait for the team to come out and egress you from the vehicle.
Mm.
And yes, I have talked to cast members myself who actually went through the training to keep the, I guess you'd say, guest experience calm and light during the egress progress. It was quite a class in psychological warfare. So yeah.
Nice. What do you say, Shaz? You crap yourself if
I
you're
crap
stuck in
myself.
that.
I was like, I don't do heights, do I? Do you imagine?
No.
Back up there, I'll be like, nope, thank you.
Oh, and the Orange County Fire Department has carried over now into the Reedy Creek Development District Fire Department, and they now have 2 units that can do it out of the Doppelmayr Skyliners.
Oh wow, cool.
In the event that it needs to become necessary, and I think last summer they actually had to do it.
Yeah, they got trapped in there for like 8 hours or something.
Right, and they actually had to start bringing people down, and But the cool thing about that is where the Doppelmayrs are located along the route, you can actually get to it with a ladder truck to do the egress. So it makes it fairly quick.
There'd be no way I'd climb down a bloody ladder out of one of those Skyway things.
Well, you just take a shot.
In 42 degree plus Celsius weather, I think you're going to want to go down that ladder. What do you think?
Yes, no. Sam's like, we'll go on the Skyliner, and I'm like, I don't really think I want to. And she's like, no, we're going on it. So there will be a video of me
screaming in a Skyliner.
I would love to go on the Skyliner with you.
We're gonna breaking news.
Yeah, don't. Because knowing my luck.
New roller coaster, Shaz POV, Florida screaming Skyliner.
It'll be horrible.
I was always nervous. I thought I would get caught in there every time I would ride that thing.
No, I didn't get a chance to ride the Skyliner.
No.
Oh, okay.
When it's a bit windy, they actually rock, Zach. I've watched a few videos. Of people on it when it's a bit breezy. It's like not even windy when it's just blows a little gust.
Yeah.
Yeah, it rocks. It's no.
Yeah.
I don't
Let's go.
She's gonna make me ride it just to watch my face.
No, when you come to California, we'll take you on the fun wheel, the wheel of death with
No, I'm not going on that. No way. You'd have to drug me to get me on that thing.
Yeah. And we'll put you on the non-stationary one.
Well, no, the one that swings? No. Yeah. You won't go on that, will you?
I will not go on that.
He's dead, then nor will I.
Oh, Mum.
Yeah.
Sorry. No.
But the whole reason the Skyway went defunct was not because of the maintenance requirement, because of metal fatigue on the towers.
Okay.
And the casters that are on the towers, those are the roller units that facilitate the movement of the cars. It's a real sad commentary because I've talked with Robbie Von Roll, the grandson of August Von Roll, the inventor of the system.
Yeah.
And I was on Leaving Today podcast, and we did this whole presentation on the Skyway, and we got really in depth to the metal composition, the alloy composition of the towers and the casters.
Yeah.
And it was just at the time, the Von Roll company had suggested periodic upgrading and replacement of the towers and the casters. Yeah. And Disney, unlike Busch Gardens, unlike SeaWorld, ignored the Von Roll company, which is why no one can have nice things anymore.
Yeah. It's a shame, man, because it did look. Yeah, it was such a cool concept as well, and just the fact that you went through an attraction, it was cool.
That part was so neat to see and to hear.
And
you can hear
and the right turn
at Walt Disney World.
The right turn was the best part of the ride. Was actually being able to make that right turn and then shoot right back up and then over the speedway and then right back down to the station.
Sounds
So cool.
terrifying. There's
So-
no
That
way I
sounds
would have gone
fun.
on there.
No,
Sounds
we
fun.
did the ride through with that with Louis.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Steve and I.
I'll watch it and then see how terrifying it is.
No, that sounds like a lot of fun. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's like a mini roller coaster. Sounds great.
Except you're
But a lot more
like
sedate.
hanging in a bucket. No.
Yeah, it's fine. It's all
But
right.
it's bird's eye view. It's a bird's eye. Like,
Yeah.
I wish you could have been there, Shaz, when 20,000 Leagues was open, and
Oh,
you
I
could
love
look
that.
down into the lagoon from the buckets. You can't pay enough money to see that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It is that fantastic.
Yeah.
One of a kind experience. I highly recommend it. Watch the videos. You get a little taste of it.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Of
satisfy
what
the
was
itch,
once
but
was.
you get a taste, and that's what matters.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's very unlikely that they're going to bring back some sort of like sky bucket system, but the Skyliners are pretty close at Disney World. So.
Well, funny you mention that, Zach. So again, talking with Robbie Von Roll, the grandson of August. Let's just say he alluded to a rumor, or at least some kind of Disney secret, that right now WDW or WDI is considering installing a overhead conveyance system or rope cableway at Disneyland Forward.
Oh, let's go. Okay.
So it might
they'll have to
possibly
do
come
something
back.
like that to get over all the, because they've got to span roads and.
Oh, you just walk over and.
Well, Disneyland Way, of course.
Just a giant bridge.
But no, I mean, they do.
They have that at Disney downtown.
I've seen the concept art for the bridges that span both the DCA side and the DLR and the DL side. But again, I've also seen one very, very obscure sketch of a Von Roll whirlpool system going over. So it does exist. It is. I consider, in my opinion, doing my research, looking through the classified archives, that sketch appears to be genuine WDI. So
Nice.
I believe if it's not going to happen, it's definitely being conceptualized as we speak.
Yeah.
So there is hope for all you Skyway lovers out in internet land. There is hope it's going to return.
Oh, amazing. I love the sound of that. That sounds good.
But at the
Fingers
same
crossed.
time, at the same time, there's also rumors that they're going to install a wedway at DCA to get guests from like Mickey and Friends and from like Toy Story to either the Grand Californian, where there'd be the terminus, or to like downtown Disney. So here's hoping on that too.
I mean, but I mean, hopefully that's the thing as well, because but doesn't the monorail do a whole loop around Disneyland and DCA?
Yes,
so
it does.
would it?
Yes, it does.
So.
But like Steve and Jason have talked about, they need to install another station at DCA.
Yeah, because there's only the one, isn't there?
Yeah.
Well, there's two stations. There's Tomorrowland Station and Disneyland Hotel Station, or downtown Disney.
Yeah.
So it is a in fact, a true transportation system, not just an attraction.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah. Get another one installed. That'd be good. Make it more of a
kinetic energy,
more convenient, more kinetic energy. Exactly, because
bring kinetic energy back to the parks. Absolutely.
Yeah, because that's so important. It really, really is.
Indeed.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
It literally, it's as you know when they were originally installed in the 60s, they were meant as demonstrator models to show that these transportation could work in an urban environment throughout the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, to get on my like soapbox real quick, and I'll get right off it. Imagine the amount of traffic congestion which could be properly managed using a transportation system such as a wedway or an allweg to
100%
reduce traffic congestion, especially in large urban areas such as Los Angeles Metro or Orlando.
Yeah. Well, they have that proposed at LAX.
Right.
Yeah, and there's one
not a real people mover. That's like a bus that's connected to each other. And
yeah. I'm gonna say there is like a people mover kind of system at where is it?
Hobby.
It's somewhere in Texas, isn't it? Is it Dallas or Austin?
It's Hobby International.
Yeah.
Also at George Bush International.
The
international airports use a modified wedway. In addition to Atlanta, you also uses a modified wedway.
Yeah, that's like a train though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's configured like a wedway car.
Oh, okay.
So,
I've only been in it once. I don't remember too much of it.
But I mean, you can say the same thing about Orlando or what do you call it, MCO? How they have the monorail trains leading from the plane terminals to the main terminals.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So I mean, like, definitely, the demonstration has been made. It's proven technology. It would be really cool if civic leaders would adopt the technology.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, definitely agree.
Off the soapbox. Thank you.
That was quick for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
That's impressive. Well done.
Thanks.
All right. I'm looking. Unless anyone else has got any more at Magic Kingdom kind of parks. Has anyone else got any of us?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much.
I don't want to move parks yet, so please continue.
Let's talk about 20,000 Leagues.
Let's talk about 20,000 Leagues.
All right. So, for my friends who don't know, 20,000 Leagues is the Walt Disney World equivalent of Submarine Voyage. As opposed to Submarine Voyage, which was based around the novel invention of the nuclear submarines back in the 1950s. 20,000 Leagues is a retro steampunk version of the same attraction using the vehicle 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. So the submersibles or semi-submersibles are reproductions of the Nautilus submarine as highlighted in the 1954 Kirk Douglas James Mason vehicle of the same name.
Yeah.
That being said, all the props underwater were reminiscent of the 1954 motion picture classic. So you had the accurate period diving gear. You had, and then they were all like, your first generation audio animatronics, like you had on the Jungle Cruise video y'all did last night.
Yeah.
And they're moving around and doing their thing. And of course, there's like audio animatronic fish, first generation.
Yeah.
And they're doing their little thing with their little mouths going up and down and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then, you go and see a sea serpent and mermaids and volcanoes and all that great stuff. And it's a really crying shame it's not there anymore. Of course, the reasons behind why it's now a defunct attraction is the hideous maintenance requirements for the attraction. Specifically, believe it or not the semi-submersibles, but the actual lagoon.
Where was it?
It was where
you know where Ariel, the Adventure of Little Mermaid, is now.
Yeah. So, fun little facts as well. The rock work, if you get it the right angle, makes Nautilus. It's very, very cool. Yep. Yeah, it's very cool.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was in New Fantasyland. I hate
New Fantasyland.
New Fantasyland's been there for like a million years now.
Yeah, it's 23 years old, but it's still new.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's all I'm going to say about 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. But let's go across the street to my all-time favorite Fantasyland attraction, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Oh, yes, please. Yeah.
Sadly,
I cannot wait to ride that ride at Disneyland.
Yeah, me too.
Cannot wait.
It's pretty cool.
An opening day attraction in October 1st, 1971. It sadly closed in 1999 to make room for the new Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Which is not that great, to be fair. It's all right.
No, it's not. It's not that great. It's just the
way I look at it is, you have a Winnie the Pooh attraction. It's in California. Let it be.
Yeah.
Why did they have to?
One in Japan is the best one.
Why did they have to take Toad? I get it. You got plywood. Like props popping at you during your wild ride through the streets of London and the English countryside. Yeah. But the point is, it harkens to one of the greatest animated films in Disney canon, The Wind in the Willows.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And who doesn't love Cyril? Cyril's my favorite character in the whole film.
Yeah.
Because he says he's a bit of a trotter, a bit of a rotter. So I think that's totally cool. And if you know anything about rotters, I got to go on this real quick. I got to give tribute to one of the greats rodders of all time, Terry Thomas, who played Sir Hiss in the 1973 classic Robin Hood. Right?
Nice. Yeah.
If you all like my British friends obviously know who Terry Thomas was. I hope you
Jack probably doesn't. Do you know who Terry Thomas is?
I'm probably too young to be fair, aren't I?
Yeah, I'm too young, but he's classic.
He's a comedian.
He's a comedian. Okay.
Yeah.
And his
name sounds familiar. I do like
and his comedy was mainly based on like British trash.
Oh, fair, okay. Yeah, fair, yeah.
Kind of like you know what a rodder is?
It's a guy that like sells off random junk in it. Like Del Boy from Only Fools and Horses.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like a cad.
Cad.
Yeah.
So it's sort of pre-chav.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Cool.
Yeah. Chav trash. You know what I mean? So that's why he's so memorable. And his voice is one of the most distinct in all of animated canon. So
yeah. There you go.
You know, like who doesn't remember Sir Hiss? I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Like breakout role in Robin Hood. Who's the best there? Sir Hiss. Thank you. What a day.
No, the Wild Ride of Mr. Toad, it looks such a fun ride. It really does. But like going back to Winnie the Pooh, didn't Winnie the Pooh at Disneyland take over Country Bears?
Unfortunately,
yes. That's just sad. That's a total downgrade. Like they need Country Bears back at Disneyland. They really do. And that new show at Walt Disney World, have you seen it yet, Lewis and Eric?
Yes.
Yeah. What are your opinions on that? Did you like it?
I wish there was more country and less Disney in the show.
Yeah.
But that's me.
Yeah. I mean, I liked it. I like the country twist on the Disney songs. But there was a lot of Disney songs in there, but they're going safe, aren't they? Going safe with it, aren't they?
Well, if you wanted to try everything, you should have had an audio animatronic gazelle.
Yes.
You should have had her. And then she could have been her special guest star in your presentation.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah, that would have been so
good.
And
they proved it could be done with Shanghai.
Oh, well,
they have a Generation 5 Gazelle audio animatronic.
Mate, Shanghai looks so good.
So
like, Zootopia
you could have done it in Florida, no problem.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Garner Holt could have set that thing up for less than $1 million.
Yeah, absolutely. But hey ho, we got what we got, and it's one of those things.
Oh, at least it's still there, and they didn't take it away.
Yes. Praise.
They were going to do.
In the United
it was going to go, wasn't it? And there was an uproar, so they changed their mind. Don't know what they'd put in its place if they did take it away. Some load of old tap, probably something Frozen related.
Probably, yeah. No, to your dismay there, Shazzy. Excuse me. Alrighty, let's jump over to the glitz and glamour of Hollywood Studios. Let's go. One of my favorite rides, and a special place in my heart over on Signs of Amusement. The first ride through I ever did.
Yeah,
great movie rides. The first time I ever met Jay and Steve.
The
great movie.
Was that the first time we met? Was when you did that?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah,
that was over. That was almost a year ago.
The great movie ride. What
you wait a minute, I'll tell you exactly when it was because it'll be on my list. Right there.
But yeah,
are we going to talk about the great movie ride?
We are talking about that. I'm just reminiscing. I'm just reminiscing of when I first met Jay and Steve.
8th of September 2023, that was released.
Oh, really? So over a year.
Yeah.
We've known each other over a year. Let's go.
Yes.
That's great. That's so.
I need to write down what.
So Eric, my friend Jason and I, we do these ride-through videos, and on a channel called Signs of Amusement, Jay's channel, and we invite. That's how we met everybody, is through these ride-through videos. And Zach, when Jason told me, he goes, "Hey, Zach picked a great movie ride," and I was like, "Why?
Why?
Yeah."
What's wrong with that ride?
I didn't know anything about it.
Nothing.
Yeah, Steve's never been to Disney World.
Yeah, I'm a Disneyland because I used to live in Southern California.
Yeah.
So I'm a Disneyland person. I never been to Walt Disney World, I didn't know what this great movie ride thing was. And then Zach, chose it as his ride through video, so we watched it, and I was like, wow, this is actually really good.
Yeah.
Why did they get rid of it?
It was such a good ride. It was so fun.
They replaced it with not Mickey Minnie's, but with Goofy's Runaway Railway.
Goofy's Runaway Railway.
Yeah, not Mickey Minnie's. That's not their train.
Now that I've ridden it, I totally understand where you're coming from with that.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, totally get it. But
that's nothing to do with Mickey and Minnie. So
no, it doesn't. No, they just
train.
They show up at the beginning and then at the end.
And then they try and rescue you badly throughout it.
Yeah.
And
it was his fault because he ran into this stupid thing that derailed the train.
That's goofy for you.
But no, the Great Movie Ride, man. What an absolute spectacle of just cinema, and it was my favorite ride in Hollywood Studios, and Hollywood Studios is like my least favorite park.
Because he doesn't do Star Wars.
I don't do Star Wars. I don't like Star Wars, but Toy Story Land is up there, man. I love
Toy Story, Zach. No Toy Story.
No
Muppets. No Muppets.
He went into Galaxy's Edge the wrong way. He went in via Toy Story.
Oh yeah, he went the wrong way.
I went in it the wrong way. I went in it the wrong way
you
first.
went in it the wrong way.
Does it matter?
Yes,
the rear entrance is just as good. It's fine.
Seriously, you just
How am I supposed to know how to do Star Wars?
We didn't ask. Like you've got two of the biggest Star Wars fans in the universe as your friends. You didn't think to ask.
True.
But anyway, sorry, carry on.
You know what though? I didn't care enough to ask. So you know what I mean. No, but the Great Movie Ride was it was such a fantastic ride. It was the bit that like sticks out in my mind the most was the alien scene. And I honestly thought the Xenomorph was bigger. And I don't know whether they took it out, but when I rewatched it with Steve and Jay when we did the ride through, I swear it was like the dinosaur from on Dinosaur. Like there was one coming out of the ceiling. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm 90% sure it was.
That sounds like some Mandela effect. Because I remember it coming out the ceiling. I don't remember it coming out the ceiling.
Like I 100% I don't know whether it's because I was young and it looked bigger, but I don't know. It was one of those things where I was like, I distinctly remember something coming out of the ceiling, but
yeah, that sounds like a Mandela effect, man. No lies there. Wow.
I'm being bamboozled by.
I mean, my two favorite scenes are Judy Garland and Gene Kelly.
Yeah,
I love the Gene Kelly scene because again, Singing in the Rain is a really great piece of cinema.
100%.
A la Debbie Reynolds and everything. So I mean, if you're into classic cinema, it is definitely the ride to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also it gives a big hat tip to Bogart and Bergman for Casablanca. So
yes, and they had the original plane from Casablanca in there, I believe. Right. Yeah,
they
which was cool.
The aircraft from Warner Brothers. Absolutely.
Yeah, which was very cool.
And in fact, I think all the major studios had helped contribute props for the attraction.
Oh, that's cool.
And a little known fun Disney fact here is that the stipulations as far as contracting goes, they had to give all the props back.
Yeah.
When the ride became officially closed, Disney Archives had to come out, pack up everything, and then send them back to all the surviving majors, i.e. Warner Brothers, 20th Century Fox, Columbia, well now Sony, but still it's Columbia, MGM, Onward, Paramount, and Onward, or Viacom, Onward, and so forth, had to send all the props back.
Yeah, so, which now Disney own like 3/4 of them.
Right.
Disney now owns 3/4 of them.
And from what I also hear, the ruby slippers in the Judy Garland scene were created by the daughter of the original maker.
Oh wow,
that's a real obscure fact. But
wow.
But awesome. again, I'm a Disney freak, so
absolutely. So this is why we got you on here, because this is like your forte. But
again, it's one of my favorite attractions. So yes.
Yeah, absolutely. It was hands down one of my favorites. I absolutely loved. Absolutely. And it was so And I think it was the part that hit me the most when I went back, because when I was there, you had like the giant sorcerer's hat, you had the great movie ride.
Sure.
There was nothing in the back of Hollywood Studios. It was like that was. I feel like that's the one that's had the most change to it over the years. And I'm like, this is this. It was surreal to like walk down the crossroads and just be like, wow, this is madness. Like, this is completely changed. But it felt good. It was nice. It was because like last time I was there, obviously it felt like there was more there this time, but also like less on like the first stretch, because like I remember the American Idol experience being there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I never got to do that, but like, man, it looked like a fucking. It looks hilarious. I would have loved to have done that. I watched a video. Was it Defunct Land or Yesterworld? And they went through like the whole process of like explaining how it all worked. Going through like auditions sounded like a ball ache.
That was Defunct Land.
Yeah,
you wasted your whole day if you got chosen to go on it. That was it. That was your day.
That was your day. Yeah, literally.
That was like at DCA. We had Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yeah,
it was the same thing. Yeah.
Right.
And they gave away a Disney cruise. That was the prize. Wow. Yeah.
And in fact, I do want to give a shout out to DCA. At least they did replace Superstar Limo.
Yes.
That was a horror show.
Yeah.
That was a flipping horror show.
Is it Roger Rabbit that's
there? Remember that, Steve?
No, it's Monsters Inc.
Oh, it's
Monsters Inc. Yeah, so much better. Monsters Inc.'s cool.
Well, they have repurposed
Superstar Limo was like a nightmare.
Yeah, they've repurposed all the animatronics. So Drew Carey, the one that I've always found funny is the Drew Carey one with his like on one foot with. It's funny. I love that. But yeah, great movie ride, man. Is such a fun ride. It really
wonderful.
How did you feel when you rode Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway?
I mean, I was skeptical at first. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. But I was in line. I got in line. It kind of, I don't know. It felt weird going in it and then like not seeing all the props and stuff, and then just going on. I like the ride. The ride was. It's a lot better in person than it is on video.
Yeah, I found that. I found the video looked a bit. But in person, it was fun.
It was really fun, but like it's a good homage, I think, to the Great Movie Ride. But I mean, I would have preferred it to have been like what they did with Toontown at Disneyland and have it as a separate attraction in like a different area. But it is what it is.
Did they get rid of Great Movie Ride? Was it only because they wanted Mickey Minnie's in there, or was it because
I think it was a contractual. I think it was a contractual issue with AMC.
It was a Disney and MGM had a falling out.
Yes,
that's why they had to close it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was MGM that provided like 90% of the props.
Well, they're bankrupt anyway, so why?
Well, they're not. They
not anymore, but they were.
They were formed, but that whole thing was a disaster.
It was a big mess. It was a big old mess. So
it's really unfortunate it had to happen.
Because like I said, I didn't know anything about the ride until Zach and we watched it, and it was like, this is actually a really cool ride. Why did they get rid of it?
Yes, agreed.
So
yeah.
And I didn't know the vehicle stops, and then you have actually live action actors.
It was so cool. Yeah. I got Bugsy Malone. That was pretty cool.
Scott Baio.
Yeah, because
that's outstanding. 1974.
Yeah, because it was 2 tracks. I believe there was 2 tracks. One was like a cowboy route, and then one was like 1930s gangster route, and it was
right.
Which one did we get? We got the cowboy route, didn't we? When we did your ride through?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. I think we did. Yeah.
Yeah, because yours had John Wayne and Rio Bravo. So
yeah.
You had the Western track, right?
Yeah. But
I didn't know it did that either.
Yeah, it was a very cool ride. It really, really was. It's a shame it went, and I mean, I doubt Disney would ever bring it back. But if they did something similar, then that'd be.
With just Disney movies?
No, I mean, they've got rights to Alien now. They've got 20th Century Fox.
They could do Cleopatra. They could do Cleopatra, which is the biggest boondoggle ever made.
Yeah.
And I would love to see a Liz Taylor audio animatronic. I could die happy at that point.
Yeah.
Being the Liz Taylor, Cleopatra audio,
Yeah, for sure.
die happy man there.
Absolutely. And then speaking of rides that, well, not right, more so an attraction, the Backlot Tour at Hollywood Studios.
Oh, I loved that.
What an attraction. Oh my days. That was so much
awesome.
fun. Yeah, I absolutely loved it.
Oh no, we don't have it at Disneyland Paris anymore.
Well, that's when Hollywood Studios was actually Hollywood Studios. They were making television productions there.
Yeah.
Like
they were
the
making
Golden
films
Girls, for example. They were making the Golden Girls on the lot in Orlando at the site. So I mean,
absolutely.
And I mean, who don't love the Golden Girls? You know,
I mean, the Golden Girls is just stellar TV, man.
Cool show, man.
Absolutely. But yeah, the Backlot Tour it was so fun. And then I remember going on it, and I know it changed over the years, but I remember going on it, and Walt's plane was there. Which was really cool. Right. Yeah, which was very, very cool to see. But yeah, it was so much fun. I really, really enjoyed it. They had what was it? They had something from Flight of the Navigator there as well?
Yeah,
I believe.
The
ship from which was so good. It was just cool to see all those props and just experience like film history in a sense. And like Lewis said, Lewis, it was when at a time where Hollywood Studios was kind of like an active kind of like
film studio.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It was the same in Paris when they had the full tour in Paris. It was it used to go through the wardrobe department, and they were making stuff for the French Disney Channel stuff that they were filming.
Nice. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And now all we have is Catastrophe Canyon.
Oh, that's
the 7 minutes of
the 7 minutes of your life you never get back. Yeah.
I was like, what a waste.
I watched that.
I watched your video and it was like, wait, what?
I didn't like. I was joking, but I did not expect it to be that bad. I was like,
it was terrible. So what they've done, Lewis and Eric, in Disneyland Paris, they've taken our awesome Backlot Tour, which used to go through a trash. It used to go around past a load of props, through Catastrophe Canyon, round the back, and then you used to take you into a rain of fire area of London that had been destroyed by dragons, and it was so cool. It was smashed up things. There was a tube station. The dragon was lit in a tunnel, and it was breathing fire, and there was it was really, really cool.
Holy crap, that sounds awesome.
They've got rid of that, and that's where Frozen Land is going.
Oh god.
And the only bit they've kept is the Catastrophe Canyon part, which they have themed to cars.
And it's junk.
Sounds really cool, but literally you just drive till you get to Catastrophe Canyon. They've painted the thing Dynaco blue, and then you go around the back and come back again. Yeah, it's rubbish.
Life is a highway.
Life is a highway.
It's not even that. They don't even play that song. It's just so uncool.
Yeah, it just looks shit.
You can't even understand what they're saying because they're speaking French.
Yeah,
mate with a French accent.
Mate with a French accent is wrong.
Yeah, that is.
Larry
what happened to Larry the Cable Guy?
Because when you walk through,
I thought things in Paris were dual language though.
They are dual language, but
they
Mate speaks French and Lightning McQueen spoke English.
Yeah, which makes no sense because you can only hear one half of the conversation.
Yes. You only hear one part of the conversation.
And I noticed that on like the video in like the tram where it was Sally and Cruz Ramirez. I was like, why can't you understand what Cruz is saying? What the fuck is going on?
Because Sally is French. Anyway, so you should hear
Sally should be
Luigi.
German. She's a Porsche.
You should hear the Italian Fiat 500 with a French accent. That's awesome. Yeah. But yeah,
fun.
But yeah, our Backlot tour was great in Paris.
Yeah.
I mean, I obviously rode the one in Hollywood Studios loads of times before it was closed.
Yeah, I love that ride. I mean, I don't like. I want to try
and the next door stunt show, the lights, cameras, action. The stunt show was epic.
Love that. It was so good. That's now the Cars Academy. That's a bag of wank.
That's gone, hasn't it? That's not
wait a minute.
Academy anymore.
Nah, that's a villain thing. It's going to be a villain.
When they had the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular. Y'all remember that?
Stunt Spectacular's still there.
In Hollywood
the
Studios.
Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular. Or are we talking about? We're talking about Disneyland Paris, not Hollywood Studios, Florida.
We've never had anything Indiana Jones in Paris.
Apart from the Temple of Peril.
Yeah.
The roller coaster, yeah. Which I can't ride because it goes upside down.
And now, as you know, our car stunt spectacular is the awesome Alice in Wonderland BMX and skateboarding show. Yay!
I knew that was coming.
Eric, don't watch it. Don't watch it.
No, please
Seriously,
don't.
save 20 minutes of your life.
Another reason.
You guys watch 10 minutes of it before you were like, turn it off, can't watch it.
No, not even that. It was like 5, and it's just another reason to hate Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, you love Alice in Wonderland, don't you? You love Alice in Wonderland like I love Frozen.
Or it's a reason to listen to Frankie Goes to Hollywood over
and
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, if you don't listen to the theme song and you put on like Welcome to the Pleasure Dome by Frankie Goes to Hollywood, the full album version over the top, it looks amazing. It's like watching Wizard of Oz listening to Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd. Yeah,
Pink Floyd.
It's the same effect.
I love that.
If you've never watched that, if you've never done that, Zach, I highly suggest you go and do it.
I need to do that now.
You do know and good. Do not take any mind-altering drugs when you do it, because it will really screw you over. Yeah, don't. There's a story behind that, which I'll tell you another time. I was going to say, is that personal experience? It's personal experience, but it's worth it. Yeah.
Whoa.
I'll tell you later.
Yeah, I need to know now.
I'll tell you later.
But yeah, Shaz touched on it a little bit. The lights motor action at Hollywood Studios. That was so much fun. That was an absolute riot. That one. I remember another one. Was it Hollywood Studios? You stood on what they called? You have them at football games over there. What they called?
Bleachers.
That's what you call
bleachers.
Bleachers. Yeah, I couldn't think of the word. I was going to say a stampede, but that's not the right thing.
Oh, I hope.
No, that's from the Lion King.
That's from the Lion King. No, Mufasa. But I remember standing on like bleachers and then having like this waterfront and just getting split. What was that? Could anyone remember what that was? Or am I having like
hallucinating again?
No. That was the boat show.
Yeah,
that was the stunt boat show.
Yes,
I totally get what you mean. Yeah, that was wild.
That was so much fun. I love that one. I can't remember the name of it for the life of me, and I don't even know what replaced it, if anything. But like, I love that show. That was so much fun. That was great. But that was when Hollywood Studio was like an active stunt like film set, and it was like
film studio. Right.
It did all those things, and it was so much fun. I mean, whatever is placed lights, camera, action that is now going to be replaced by a villains show was Cars Academy. It was all right. The Lightning McQueen, it's pretty cool. I mean, the animatronic's pretty cool. But the show itself is just a bit rubbish. The only thing I will rate, I literally, and no joke of a lie, I sat outside of there for about 45 minutes, and they've got DJ from like the first Cars movie just playing music, and he played some absolute bangers that day. It was great. It was so much fun. It was great. So I was just sat there for 45 minutes, just vibing, like listening to DJ. I was like, yes, this is great. I love this. But the show itself was It was all right. It was fine. It was a good way to get out
the villain stuff that they're going to put in.
Yeah. I wonder what they're going to do with that. I wonder if it's going to be like a stage show type thing.
It does look, from the stuff they've been talking about, it does look like it might be a stage show. If it's anything like the stage shows they put on in Paris, it will be epic.
Yeah. Oh, it could be like a villain's Phantasmic. That'd be pretty cool.
If
no one says anything.
If you do it, you got to have Chernobyl.
Yeah, you've got to have Chernobyl.
Yes. The one of the original villains. That's cool. Yeah, Chernobyl is sick. I love Chernobyl.
I want to get him on my tattoo somewhere, but I don't know where I'm going to put him.
What, Chernobyl?
Yeah.
On your arm, villain's arm.
Right.
Yeah. Sick.
No, not on my forehead. Thank you, mister.
On your forehead. Jesus. Yeah, it'd be sick. You can have his hands over your eyes to be like,
see?
Shut up. I'm sure I can fit him somewhere on there. He can go with Jafar up here somewhere.
Right.
I'm not taking my jumper off. It's too chilly in here.
Would you say it'd go Janair?
Yeah, I noticed Eric and Louis are wearing like short sleeves, and
because
we're
they're
all
in
wearing
Florida.
like long sleeves.
Long sleeve.
I've got short sleeves on, but like it's because I don't own any long sleeve funky shit.
Well, Steve, when you live below 30 degrees north latitude, it's still a little warm.
You had
Yeah.
the heater on yesterday.
Let's check the temperature. Oh, look at that. It's just over 30 degrees Celsius. What do you know?
Nice.
Oh, well, it's 13 here, it reckons, and I think it's lying because it's cold.
What's mine saying? Mine's saying 12.
Let's see.
What is Steve's temperature?
Yeah.
It's 10.
10 degrees. Okay.
It's 50 over here.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are we going now, Zach?
I don't know, man. Let's all right,
Epcot. Let's go to Epcot, Zach, please.
Okay, let's go to Epcot. I have got one.
Please.
I've got a couple. World of Motion. World of Motion.
But that wasn't the one I was thinking. We'll talk about WOM. We'll talk about WOM. That's not
World of Motion. I know Test Track took over it, and I love the original Test Track. I didn't ride 2.0 because I was like, it looked like a bag of wank. Not gonna lie, it looked crap.
The way you say that, you don't say it's a bit rubbish. You call it a bag of wank, which nobody outside the UK will understand what that is.
No,
exactly.
So either explain it or describe it in a different way.
No, I mean we can describe it in American speech. It's equivalent.
Yeah, I'm sure we get it.
It's a dumpster fire. That's exactly.
There you go.
Like I said, a scumbag.
Yeah, I know, but you're just trying to describe what a bag of wank.
That's what a bag of wank is. It's a scumbag. It's the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a guy. It's just a guy carrying it on, just like.
Is he using his right hand or left hand?
He used his right hand for that. Don't you remember?
Yeah. Right, yeah. There we go.
All right, there you go.
So you're saying, Zach, you're saying that Test Track 2.0 is
not very good.
You don't like it.
I don't like the look of it. I loved the original one where it was like. So it was like an old factory. It was so cool. The queue was amazing. I love the queue. I fondly remember. I can't remember what kind of like model car it was, but it was just this yellow like car just suspended on like jacks and like stuff like that with like chains around it. It was so good. I really, really loved that. I love the whole aesthetic of it.
I think it was a 1912 model Oldsmobile.
Yeah, it looked really cool.
It was an Oldsmobile like coupe. I mean, it's one of the first like mass-produced automobiles in the United States before the introduction of the Model T. So
yeah.
There's a little automotive trivia right there. Anyway, what I liked about WOT is all the Mark Davis stuff got brought into it. It's one of the last attractions he worked on before he.
Yeah.
And like we get to see a lot of his WRE stuff, especially with the Old West part, with the stagecoaches and the horses and all that stuff. We get to see that survive into WOM.
Yeah.
And sadly it gets replaced by Test Track 1.0.
Yeah.
But that whole attraction's so cool because I remember being a kid, like I think I was 11 years old the first time I went on it. At the end, they had the brand new SC1, which was the General Motors electric car, which is a brand new like technology, at least for Americans at that time. And we got to see it. It was so sleek and so next level.
Yeah.
You walked out of there wanting an electric car.
Oh yeah.
And that was something really good on Disney's part that they did, was they really made you look forward to the advent of future technologies.
Yeah. And that's what Epcot was all about. Like that's what
definitely
old
a
Epcot was all
showcase
about.
of like just about to happen future technologies.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And it kind of lost that with Test Track 2.0, but with Test Track 3, with Test Track 3.0, with what they're saying they're going to do with like, thingies of world like implementing the World of Motion into it. I'm looking forward to it. I hope they do it justice.
When's it opening? Middle of next year? They said it was going to be shut for a year, didn't they?
Yeah, I believe so. 2025, like middle 20. They'll probably open it before the summer, so probably like when Tiana's open. When did that open? June.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to say around about the same time.
Yeah, because they shut it about June this year, didn't they?
They did, yeah. And
See, I have only ever ridden 2.0 of Test Track because when we went to Disney World when Em was small, she didn't want to ride it because, quote, it's boring. It's just a car. We want to go fast in a car. We can drive fast in your car.
Elmo, how dare you?
I know. She's not here, so you can't cuss her. Yeah, so, I mean, and it was all right.
Yeah, I mean, it just looked boring.
It's boring. I mean,
I like Radiator Springs Racers.
Unlike Radiator Spring Racers, which looks just amazeballs. I can't wait to play on that.
Yeah, I can't wait. It looks so good.
I'm really hoping that when they bring Test Track 3.0 back, that it's actually good because there was no really, educational things about it. Yeah, it's cool. You can design your car, and Sam and I made one that looked like it could drive on the moon. It was very not environmentally friendly.
I was hoping you guys had designed a Homer, just like in The Simpsons.
We've got a picture of it somewhere.
Cars ever made.
It literally looks like something. It looks like a souped up. I don't know. Even begin to what it looked like, but it looked like you could drive it on the surface of the moon. It had the biggest tires ever. Massive spoiler. Yeah, it was so cool. Wow. Would have needed a ladder to climb in it, but
yeah, Eric, she's short.
Yeah, I'm small.
She's ladder to get in.
Yeah.
No, she's 5'2", so she's tiny.
So can we talk about more defunct attractions at Epcot?
Of course you can. Which one do you want to talk about?
The best one of all, Horizons.
Oh, yes. Bring it on.
There's an entire cult
of
people out there that honestly state that Horizons has been the best attraction ever made.
Are there videos of that? Because I have no idea what Horizons is.
Now hold up, Steve. How many times I got to tell you about Remain Seated, Please?
The
Hoot and Chief story called Remain Seated, Please, available on YouTube.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah.
The hidden story of Horizons.
Yeah,
this is required viewing for every Disney geek in the known universe. You need to watch this film. You want to get educated about the greatest ride ever made? You watch this film. And
you've been told now.
Yeah.
You have been told 3 times. Okay.
I know.
Would you like me to remind you?
Yes, please. Put a note
Shaz,
down.
Shaz got a post-it note.
Yeah.
Right.
She's my memory.
On Horizons, right? Eric, were you able to go to Horizons before it closed at the turn of the century?
No, I was not able to.
Sorry to hear that. So, in very short terms, to describe to all my friends out there in the ether, it was the spiritual progressor to the Carousel of Progress currently at MK.
Yeah.
In Walt Disney World. It literally, sponsored by the General Electric Corporation, it was the 21st century possibilities, and you were given 3 choices, and that was either to go to Mesa Verde, which is a greenified former desert, the underwater city, or the space colony.
Yeah.
Now, granted, before you got to make your choice, you got to see the retro vision of the future. And it's all this like retro stuff and neon lights and like automations, which are pre-audio animatronics, which they had on display there. And they did like their little robot butler thing from like the 30s and whatnot. And it was pretty cool. But the cool part about the ride was choosing what future you want to see. And each ride vehicle got to make their choice. So if there were 3 occupants in the Omnimover, which is what the ride vehicle conveyance is.
Oh, cool.
The 3 people could decide on either Mesa Verde, Sea City, or Space Colony.
Yeah.
And you got to get whisked off to either one of those 3 locations. The cool thing about Horizons was after a couple years after it opened, so around late part of 84, 85, there was no lines, so you could walk right on it.
Wow.
I mean, like you might wait maybe all of 2 minutes to get your Omni Mover into the future.
Yeah.
And so literally in an average day at Epcot, you could go on Horizons, do all 3 scenarios upwards of 20, 25 times if you had the inclination to.
Wow.
And while it was only second generation audio animatronics being featured, the audio animatronics were pretty cool. And we get to talk about the scintillator.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So Mesa Verde, right, which is the greenified desert, right?
Yeah.
Had what's called aileron. I think I'm saying it. That's how you say it in French, right?
Yeah.
And it's L'Orange, right? And it's a future orange. So at Mesa Verde, they've gone off the deep end with GMO crops, and they're making new kinds of fruits and vegetables for consumers in the developing world.
Yeah, yeah.
And one of those things is an aileron, which is a new orange, so to speak.
Yeah.
And you get to smell the orange blossom scent getting blown through the scintillator during that portion of the attraction. It's one of the best parts of the whole attraction is getting your total aileron blast on. It's literally like an orange bird is sitting on your shoulder.
Nice.
I mean, and you know I love the orange bird.
Yes, yeah,
so,
yeah.
Like, I'm going to talk about him every opportunity.
Of course, of course.
So, like, that's probably the best part of the attraction. Now, the other parts of the attraction were cool, too, are the dolphin audio animatronic for Sea City, and then the space colony. You get to see them looking like they're weightless, but they're like wires, like, you know, one of those Chinese martial arts films.
Yes,
you know?
yeah.
And it's all just, it's a really, really cool attraction. I highly recommend, if you haven't been on the attraction, watch a video, watch 2 videos. I think there's like 25, 30 different versions of it.
I'm looking at Resort TV 1. They have one.
And like Resort TV 1 has one of the better versions of it because they restored it like Retro WDW does with like their old home movies and stuff. They slip it through like the processor and they they digitize them and clean everything up and take out the static and the mad pixels and turn it into a really usable product for a modern audience.
And I did the opposite for my Disney World vlog.
I know.
Yeah, he made it look like something from a bad.
You looked at it, looks just like my 1993 video that I have.
But they're pretty sick, right? Let's be real.
Well, living through that, Zach, I must admit that I much prefer modern watching it nice.
Yeah, of course. Like I do, but I was like, it's my 30th. I really want it to be like a retro VHS. So I was like, this is what we're gonna do.
I do hope you have the 4K version somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, on my phone. Yeah, they're all on my other phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're on my other phone.
So we can watch it clean then, because it would hurt my eyes. I was getting really stressed.
No,
I did call you quite a few swear words when I was watching it. I must admit. That's what I'm doing.
My ears were burning.
So we talked about Horizons. Now I want to talk about the next attraction, the Living Seas. Now, Eric, you've been to Finding Nemo and Friends, right?
Yes.
Everybody's been to Finding Nemo and Friends.
Did you go to the iteration before that when it was called the Living Seas Seabase Alpha?
If I did, I was really young.
Okay,
like
fair enough.
6, but yeah.
Well, for all my friends that have been to the seas with Nemo and Friends, you understand how dilapidated it looks. And it looks dilapidated. I'm not going to. Yeah. When you got black mold in the tank, it's dilapidated. I'm not sorry. It is what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Back when it was new in 1986, this looked like the future. Yeah. It was beautiful. Seabase Alpha was gleaming, sparkling, clean. Everything worked. They had the new future diving gear they were experimenting with in the tank with the animals.
Yeah.
It was so doggone cool. And when I mean experimental diving gear, I don't mean like, you know, a regulator stuck in your maw and a pair of goggles around your noggin, but like literally hard shell helmets.
Yeah.
With like this like torso unit and this little slim tank that went on your back.
Looking like something from out of the abyss.
Yeah.
They had, and it was the first place I ever saw a thing called an ROV, or
the remote, the vehicle that goes underwater.
You know, remote operated vehicle, which is a remote submarine, which they were using in the tank to like photograph and make so-called repairs on the base. And
that's cool.
It was just so and unlike modern ROVs that have a tether that go up to the surface to your surface boat, this ROV was completely under radio remote control, so it had no tether. It was like a remote control submarine, like you would get at a hobby shop.
That's cool.
Unlike the one you get at a hobby shop, this thing had a 4K camera on it and an arm that did movement. So that in it by itself was like the whole reason to pay the then $35 admission a day to go into the bastard. You know what I mean? So there it is.
Wow. No, it did look so good back in the day. It really, really did. I remember watching, I think it was off on Disney, he did like a retrospect of it. And the elevator that used to be a big.
The hydrolator.
Yeah, that looks so much fun. Looks,
absolutely.
Yeah. And now it's I mean, it's cool now, but like it looks so much better back in the day.
Now, really and even back in the day, they used to have the dolphins in the main tank. Like now the dolphins are in their separate tank.
Yeah.
But back in the day, the dolphins used to be in the main tank with the other marine life.
Yeah.
Now it's all closely monitored so the sharks and the dolphins don't get into a rift. But but it was like they actually had the dolphins would go into the main tank and swim around, and everybody would get blown away by the menagerie of marine life in the main tank. You know what I mean? Yeah. And at the time, it was the largest
sharks.
At the time, it was the largest indoor tank in the world. So
yes, it was. Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I mean, a really cool attraction.
So absolutely, it looked absolutely fantastic. It's a shame that I mean, Nemo's fine, and I love that kind of. I spent a long time in there when I went to Epcot. I got on the ride, did the ride, and I spent a good portion of like an hour in like the whole kind of like aquarium bit because I love all that kind of. I love like looking at the animals and the aquarium, the sea life, and all that kind of stuff. But it's a shame I didn't get to experience living with the seas because it just looked fantastic. It really did. But yeah, it's it is what it is. It's one of those things. We've got Nemo now instead, I suppose. So
right.
Yeah.
So now that we've discussed, now let's talk about the next one, Universe of Energy.
Which is now Guardians, isn't it?
Which is now Guardians.
Which is now Cosmic Rewind, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Great attraction. I'm really glad they built it. I'm sad they built it at Universe of Energy because Universe of Energy was a really cool attraction. And I'm talking pre-Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah.
Not Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres take a long walk across a short pier for all I care.
Yeah.
But doggone, the original iteration was so
Don't
cool
hold back
because I'm gonna
I
let
was gonna say, Lewis, correct me if I'm wrong, because I feel like the original was very controversial because it was presented by Exxon.
Yes, it was presented by ExxonMobil.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that was very controversial on it because of Disney's produced they want the investing in coal and bad energy.
But here's the cool thing about the pavilion. The pavilion was actually powered by photovoltaics. It was renewable energy powering the pavilion. There was no fossil fuel powering a damn thing.
No, and it still is because you've got
all the electricity produced was being produced by sunlight, by UV radiation.
Yeah.
So if everybody wants to take a giant dump on ExxonMobil, by all means, do it on your own time. But in this context, no, ExxonMobil's a renewable energy leader in 1982. And they're the ones that are literally talking about the revolution in solar power and renewables. I mean, I remember them having the display of the massive marine wind turbines and how they were powering like cities and stuff back in Great Britain.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they do. They're off the coast here.
Right.
Oh,
exactly. But they were there like 40 years ago when they were first being installed. And ExxonMobil was capitalizing on that to the audience there at Universe of Energy. Plus, the Universe of Energy has not one but 2 theme songs.
Yes, yeah.
Energy, You Make the World Go Round, and then the Universe of Energy theme, which is one of the coolest songs ever made for Epcot.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's such
available on YouTube, everyone, for your
next to the People Mover soundtrack. So.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's to it, but it's right down the street. Exactly.
Yeah. No, it's Universal Energy look like a lot of
attractions all night. Like I can do it all
Oh
night.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, one that I want to touch on as well, and one that was kind of like very popular with like urban explorers of like Disney was Cranium Command.
Wonders of Life. Yes.
Yeah.
That was the one with Buzzy or whatever his name.
Yes, yeah.
Somebody stole him.
Somebody stole him, and nobody knows where he is. Nobody knows. Like, didn't he pop up a couple of years ago? He popped up on eBay a couple of years ago, didn't he?
Did he really? Wow.
And he was promptly removed a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just saw that one YouTuber guy in the back.
Yeah.
Disney's put out a reward for his return.
Yes, yeah. It's one of the biggest Disney mysteries. Like, no one knows where Bugs and Buzzy's gone. It's crazy. No one knows.
Do you want to hear a wild rumor about?
Go on.
Right.
It's in your garage, isn't it, Lewis?
Yeah.
You're the man that stole it.
No, and I would not. I would. If
no, of course, no.
I hate is theft. I do.
Yeah.
I hate that.
No, yeah.
That being said, I heard that it was sold to a couple of interests in the People's Republic of China to develop their audio animatronic industry. Now that's funny. It all turns out Disney starts bringing over Generation 6 to Shanghai. And so there's no need to share anything. You've shared it.
Yeah,
there was no reason to steal Bugsy from anyone.
No.
So it's a really, really convoluted mystery. And I mean, there's something like over 500 separate rumors of what happened to the audio animatronics. So.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. It's definitely one of like those urban myths that like nobody knows the answer to. It's crazy, but it was one of those that kind of like the whole urban explorer thing kind of popped off, and I used to love watching all that kind of stuff. Like it was very, very cool. I really
the weird thing is now if you go over to the Wonders of Life Pavilion, it's now an event.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
like if you have piles of money and you don't know what to do with it, you can literally rent the space out for all your friends and have a party.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, all you got to do is call up like special events over at Walt Disney World, throw down a pile of money, and you get the space.
Absolutely, that's it. That's
all day if you want.
Yeah,
you notice all those adventure things are always at Disney World because it's so big that you can go to different places there and nobody knows where you're at.
Oh wait, are we talking about abandoned attractions now? Because we can talk about that too.
We can do that. We can do that another time, I think. But
fair enough.
No, I think speaking of, Steve kind of touched on it a little bit of Disney not wanting you to go anywhere. Let's take a trip back to like the olden days of Disney Springs when it used to be called Downtown
Disney.
And we're going to specifically look at
the Disney Village.
Disney Village, but we're going to specifically look at Pleasure Island.
Oh,
does anyone remember Pleasure Island?
No, it already turned.
Yes. See, I remember
Pleasure
the name, Island,
but I never went there.
Yeah, so Pleasure Island was Disney's downtown like
fun
zone. Yeah, because they didn't want anybody going out of Disney. It was like, and Michael Eisner was like, okay, cool. We want people to spend more money at Disney, so we're going to give them nighttime entertainment with bars and drinks and food, and they won't have to go anywhere. Dancing. Yeah. And they had some of the coolest places, man. Granted, when I went, it was still back in 2011. It was still Downtown Disney, but it was on the process to being turned into Disney Springs. Things were being torn down.
Just started to refurb it all.
They
to talk about doing it in 2011.
There was walls everywhere. The only thing I remember of Pleasure Island was the old Cirque du Soleil.
Yes.
Disney Quest and
Quest.
Planet Hollywood was the only things that were there that we could like utilize. Disney Quest, man, was fucking sick. I'm just gonna put that out there. I love that.
It was absolutely brilliant. Why they got rid of it? Why did they get rid of it? It was amazing.
I know. I did a whole video on it. Go and check it out because it was super cool. I dove into the history of it. It's very cool. I really enjoyed doing that video, and I loved it. It was so much fun. But Pleasure Island, it just looked like a riot. Like it really did. It looked like so much fun. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. Lewis and Eric, did you have experiences with it or?
Yes.
No, not me.
No.
I didn't go until after they changed the spring. So.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to experience it because I was like, it was kind of changing,
12.
and I wasn't 12, I was 16.
Yeah, but you're still too young to drink out there, aren't you?
I was still young. Yeah, it's 21, man. Like 16, I was knocking them back here, so it wasn't, it's fine, but it is what it is. Well, Lewis, your experiences with Pleasure Island, was you a party animal at Downtown Disney?
No, I mean, I had just turned like 21, 22.
Yeah.
When I went for the first time, and I went during the course. I went like maybe 6 or 7 times the entire length of its duration.
Yeah.
That being said, it pretty much had something for everybody. As far as if you were an adult.
Yeah.
Pretty much every genre of music was represented.
Yeah.
Other than like hardcore classical, and then they have live classical occasion if you were into that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it definitely filled that need. The cool thing about it, like, it was the longest country line dance I had ever seen at the Neon.
Nice.
I mean, you literally had something like over 100 dancers out on that dance floor.
Wow.
It's thinking in line dancing. It was pretty special.
That sounds cool. I love that. That sounds cool.
They would occasionally have recording artists come in and do shows.
Oh, wow. Cool.
They had the House of Blues there. So if you were into music, you could do that.
Yes. Yeah.
And then if you were into and Steve remembers the old timey Videopolis in California.
Yep.
Videopolis East at their Pleasure Island, and that all had like the massive video screens. You could watch music videos while you dance with friends and whatnot.
Nice.
And it was mainly like like your top 40 format or popular music format.
Yeah.
And then you had another club called, what the heck was it called? I don't know, but it had something to do with alternative music.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I would have liked that.
Yeah.
But the thing all you Disney geeks out there either have to understand is the Adventurers Club.
Yes, I was going to say we need to touch on the
Adventurers and Explorers, right?
Yes, yeah.
And we can talk about Adam Merriweather Pleasure, who founds Pleasure Island.
Yeah.
This is the backstory behind Pleasure Island.
Yes, yeah.
About how he is a founding member of the society. And this whole thing goes into like the Jungle Cruise movie that was made with Dwayne Johnson, Ellen Blunt.
Yeah.
All sorts of Disney properties talk about the society in like weird, cryptic Disney fashion ways.
Yeah.
But this is where it all gets started. And the cool thing about the Adventurers Club is if you go to Club 33 in Adventureland today, if you're so privileged to do that, they have a lot of the stuff moved from the society, from the Adventure to Club 33 in Adventureland. So
that's so cool.
It still exists. It's still there. Not all of it was packed up to archives in California.
Wow, that is so cool. That's definitely a bucket list. So I think for any Disney adult is to get to Club 33.
I think Dallin did a big spread. Video spread.
Yes, yeah.
Pleasure Island and the Adventurers Club and all that good stuff. So
yeah.
Check it out if you're so inclined.
Absolutely, yeah. Check out that video for sure. But Pleasure Island was so unique back in. Well, it was so unique back in the day. It was a big thing, I think.
Right.
But then they had a lot of issues, because obviously anyone can enter Disney Springs or downtown Disney, as it were,
or Pleasure Island,
or Pleasure Island,
or you pay admission. You paid the admission to go to Pleasure Island, but there was access, unlike there would be to like the parks.
Yes. But then also there was a lot of like things happening. There was a lot of like, I'm sure there was like quite a few bits of crime in there, wasn't there? And which led it to it being shut down.
The official reason it's now defunct is because of organized crime activity in the area. And Disney said, okay, we don't want to do that. We want to cater to families. Hence, they evolved.
Yes. Yeah.
Since that has happened, Orange County, Osceola County, Polk County have really, really cracked down on that.
Yeah.
Like, it is now really on lock, and there's only like a couple areas in Orange County where that kind of thing is even tolerated, let alone flourishing. You know what I mean? It's very limited areas now. Like, the laws have changed here in Florida since that time.
Yes, yeah.
And I mean, I don't mean to be controversial here. Some people consider it a good thing. Some people consider it a bad thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let the reader or the viewer decide for themselves. I mean, I'm not gonna influence anybody, but let's just put it this way: it's another reason why we can't have nice things.
Fair, yeah.
It was great while it lasted. It's much like everything we've talked about this afternoon. It's been great while it lasted.
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
You don't know what you got till it's gone, right? So
absolutely. I've got a couple more I want to talk about.
Steve, you might like this one. This this one was called Electronica, and it was like a dance party with electronic music, all that kind of stuff, but themed to Tron.
Oh,
really?
I would have loved that.
Where was that at?
At Disneyland.
It took over, I think, Glow Nights, and then something else took it over.
I don't remember that at all.
No, but it was
that in the 80s?
Let me double check for you.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, but you slept.
But then again, I'm not a big dance person to begin with, so
let's see.
I wouldn't be dancing. I'd be just going on all the rides.
That's why you don't. It was Disney California Adventure. That's why.
Oh, I know where so that's the one that's in front of Monsters Inc.
Yeah, premiered on October the 8th, 2010.
I remember that.
And it had a recreation of Flynn's Arcade as well.
Yep. Yeah, I went in there.
Oh, you said about the arcade. Yeah. That would have been.
That was in the back corner.
Yeah. And then it got replaced by the Mad Tea Party.
So they brought that out for when Tron Legacy was released then?
Yes, yeah. But
so that arcade didn't last very long. So
no. Let's bring that back. That was cool. It looked fun.
I can't believe there's not a Flynn's arcade somewhere.
Yeah.
Why not? Why isn't there?
So at Disneyland, they had the Starcade, which was a huge 2-level arcade back in the 80s.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. I used to go there all the time.
And then you said there was one under the lake, did you, yesterday?
Yeah, so that was over at the Disneyland Hotel.
Oh, cool. Okay.
They had actually underneath, so that was actually pretty neat.
You didn't never get me out of there. I'd just be playing games.
That's what we did. So,
yeah, I mean,
but the Flynn's Arcade one, that was in DCA in the back corner of the park that nobody really goes to behind, or it's kind of in the back by Monsters Inc. there.
Yeah,
and I remember going there and it was like, oh, okay, but it was just like a facade thing. I don't remember going inside.
Yeah,
I thought it was just like a facade with the name Flynn's Arcade on there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It says it was like, said you could go into it and things like that. So
yeah, I don't remember that. All I remember too is after that was gone, then Captain Marvel came, and then they had the photo shoot at the same spot.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
Right, or maybe a little bit next to it, but with her jet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nice. Well, yeah, it was essentially just like a dance party type thing.
Yeah, that stage is still there and everything.
Yeah, was that where? No, it wouldn't be because no. Could it be? Was that where like Videopolis was and things like that, and where that stage was, or is that?
So Videopolis was at Disneyland, and that was, or it's on the way to Mickey's Toontown, and it'll be on.
Okay.
So when you're heading towards Mickey's Toontown, it'll be on the left-hand side. There's this huge, like, roof. I don't know how else to put it, like a stadium roof.
Okay. Oh, like what they call
outdoor theater. It's an outdoor theater.
Yeah.
So, and then that's what they had. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's what they had back there. It's still there, but it was used for Lion King show or something like that.
All right. Okay. Cool. So it's still being used, kind of, but
I don't know if it's still being used today.
Not at the moment. It's empty.
Is it not?
Or is it just not just?
You need to start watching some Disneyland videos, Zach. Come on.
Listen, I'm a very busy man. Okay.
Yeah.
Seriously, you're letting the side down. I'm banned from watching Disneyland videos, but I still watch them.
Yeah, that's fair. No, I do need to watch them. I need to get zoned in. I need to get Disneyland.
You have to watch my 1993, then you can see
I do.
Really
I do. Yeah, I do. Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to like diving into it. I'm off in a couple of weeks, so I might just sit down and binge some Disneyland.
There you go.
You do. And you need to watch. You need to watch regularly all the Fresh Baked construction updates so you can find out what's going on. And you need to watch some Hey Bricky ones because he talks about the new stuff that's coming with Disneyland Forward and also stuff that's going on with Disney World.
Yeah, I do like Hey Bricky, to be fair. Yeah, I like Hey Bricky.
There's somebody
every Hey Bricky video I've watched, I don't know why, they just pop up every couple of months and it's like him just ranting at some random shit. It's hilarious.
He's like Fresh Baked. He does 3 or 4 videos a week.
Yeah.
That's fair. And we're gonna
last ride. We're gonna talk about it. We touched on it. We're gonna do it. Superstar limo. This ride.
He's a pile of dog.
I erased it out of my memory. So
this ride was terrible. It was meant to be really good, and then the death of our dearly departed Princess Diana altered it because of what happened of the chase and everything.
It was supposed to be paparazzi, wasn't it?
It was. It was meant to be you're being followed by the paparazzi, and then Diana passed away, and then they completely changed it last minute, and that's why it was so shit. Like that's why it was terrible. But like, it could have been
last
something.
For that long, did it?
No,
it didn't. No, was it like I was gonna say it was like 8. It was like 6 months it lasted.
Because when California Adventure first opened, I went, and it was really small.
That was the only time he went.
Yeah.
He goes to Cars Land.
It was actually really small. No, Cars Land didn't exist.
I know. I mean now.
Oh, so you went to like the original really shit one with like the giant sun and everything.
The sun, the wave machine, and
no wonder you were turned off by it, bro.
Yeah, and then you walk down the street. The bridge was the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah,
which is now San Francisco, isn't it?
No.
No.
It's San Francisco's further
down. Okay.
Yeah. The entrance to DTA reminds me a lot of Hollywood Studios.
Yes.
It's
that's what it was kind of supposed to be, wasn't it?
Because it's the golden age of cinema, isn't it? Like it's the story of Walt essentially when he first arrived in Hollywood. Isn't
that's
it?
the second. That's the second version. So the first version is you're visiting California.
Yeah.
So they had all these stupid postcards that were in the front of the park.
I remember that.
Nobody understood what's this supposed to be.
It was like Michael Eisner's idea of like you can see all of California at Disneyland.
Yeah, when you're in California.
So. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. So, but he didn't want anyone to go anywhere. It's like here's the Golden Gate Bridge.
It was really weird.
Yeah, it was very bizarre.
Then the cool thing that they did have was in when you first walk down the main street through there on the right hand side near the what you would call the hub, I guess.
Yeah.
On the right hand side, they had these trains that were connected. They're train cars that were connected.
Oh,
and
cool. Yeah.
you can actually eat there and sit inside of a train car and eat and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
That was really neat. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you had Soaring over California, Grizzly River Run, or Rapids, and then you had the pier where you can actually play games and stuff, and then that's pretty much it. And then the Hollywood backlot, or the Hollywood land, or whatever you want to call it, where they had Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, they had the Muppets 3D, Superstar Limo. Well, Muppets 3D came later, and then they had Superstar Limo.
Yeah.
And the Hyperion, they had Aladdin.
Yeah,
so that was the best thing there, was Aladdin.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
until they built Paris, DCA was the smallest Disney park.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Until they built the Paris studios, DCA was the smallest. Whereas Paris is still the smallest. Even with the expansion, it's still the smallest.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of terrible. But well, yeah, Superstar Limo. It was shockingly bad. No worries, mate. No worries. It was shockingly bad. It was, and I feel because it was just poorly timed. I think it was just the whole.
Yeah,
they should have, rather than opening it up and having to change the story so drastically, they should have just waited. And rethemed it properly. Yeah,
absolutely. I totally agree. But like, hey, we wouldn't have the fail if they did that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We would not have the worst Disney attraction known to man. Like,
it was really weird. I
remember
going.
It?
Yeah, once when it was first there.
Yeah.
I went there, and
so
they made California Adventure so cool in the commercials and stuff. Like, they had the Star Wars characters like looking, and the Toy Story characters like looking over the fence and going, "Oh, what are they building over there?" and stuff. And so,
and then you were sorely disappointed when you got
there. It's like, it's like, what is this?
My sister's friend, he played, because they had the Beach Boys band playing, because California, so they had all the Beach Boys songs, and he was the bass player or guitar player or something like that. And so they had this rolling, like, big, I think it was a bus or something that they were in, and they would drive down, like, kind of like where the streetcar drives.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So they had that with the surfboards on the roof and all that. And,
oh my gosh. Wow. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But that back corner where Superstar Limo was now Monsters Inc. That back corner there's nothing there.
Yeah. I mean, from your personal experience, do you kind of, I mean, obviously you rode Superstar Limo, but Monsters Inc. is a lot better. But can you do you kind of like see certain animatronics like, I remember that being shit?
Yeah, the famous one is the Drew Carey.
Yeah, the Drew Carey one. Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a couple other ones.
There's a share one as well, isn't there? Somewhere. One of the CDAs is a share.
Maybe, I don't remember. Like I said, the famous one is the Drew Carey one.
Carey.
Yeah, pretty much, and that's
favorite animatronic ever. I love that. It's so good. It's just so wacky. It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely. I'm glad they've changed it, and I know it's one of those.
Yeah.
I mean, I just wish they would have just waited, like Shaz said. I just wish they would have just held off, and it could have been something great. You know what I mean? Like,
on paper, on paper, it sounded really good.
Yeah.
But then when they actually built it, and people were like, "What is this?
Yeah.
What is this?" Yeah.
Like, nobody really understood the whole postcard things in the front.
No.
It was really weird. The coolest thing about it was having the word California in front.
Yeah.
Those letters. The letters.
Yeah. It was the end of Michael Eisner's era. It was like,
was it after Frank Wells had died that they opened it up?
I think so.
Yeah. It's kind of when he went downhill.
It all went terribly wrong.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, because that's when studios opened, wasn't it? And
they were halfway through building the studios when he died,
then
it all went terribly wrong.
Yeah, it's just God rest his soul, but like
they were definitely a dynamic duo. Michael,
100%,
not function properly on his own.
No, he didn't. The things Michael, like the first half of Michael's reign was, we've got
we've got all the Disney parks, all the Disney World parks. You know, we've got Animal Kingdom was open under him, Hollywood Studios, all of like the value resorts were opened under him as well.
Yep. He built Paris.
Like,
they built Hong
Paris.
Kong.
Yeah. I mean, Paris was an absolute flop, but you know that's
I'll never forget that.
That wasn't his fault though. That was the French. Sorry, French people. But French people,
we're not sorry, French people.
But they've embraced it now. But at the time, they were convinced that it was just going to be crap. Because
they were. Yeah,
historically, any theme park outside the US is crap.
Yes, yeah. That's it. But it is what it is. At least they're used to it now, I suppose. But,
it's
but yeah, Michael
now, France.
Yeah, but Michael Eisner's reign was the first half of it was, you can't deny it was probably one of the best apart from Walt. 100%. It's definitely up there. I feel, with the amount of stuff that he did for the parks, the movies,
right,
all that kind
and
of
the
stuff.
amount of investment that they put in it.
Oh, 100%. Like, I don't think anyone put more investment than with Eisner and Wells than Walt. I think Walt would. I think honestly, he probably would have been second with the amount of stuff that he put into it. Because under Iger, I feel like the parks are being
neglected,
underutilized, shoddy buildmanship, and like, yeah. But that's a topic for another.
Should we talk about Tiana's?
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough to ride that.
Well, the one day that it was working.
The one day it was working, and I had the only. So I noticed back. I was watching my video back as I was editing it. The only issue I noticed was Tiana was a little bit like stiff. The ending, the last Tiana animatronic was a little bit stiff. But other than that, everything else ran very, very smoothly.
Have you ridden it, Eric?
No, I have not.
Not read Tiana's yet.
No.
No.
I didn't even ride it when it was Splash Mountain, so I don't know.
Oh, really?
A little nervous.
I'm
nervous to
looking
ride
forward
it, but
to compare it.
That big
One
drop
day I'll
at
get
the
there.
end.
You know what? It doesn't look as big as I remember it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm obviously a lot braver now, but when I rode it the first time, and I rode it on my own because I was in Magic Kingdom by myself because I had a down day when I was at a conference. I had nobody to go with me. So I'm like, shit, I've got to ride it on my own. I'm a chicken. I'm going to get to the front of the queue and wuss out. And I was in the second row and I was like, I can't wuss out. So obviously I rode it. And I love Song of the South. It was one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid. So I thought, I've got to ride it. I've got to ride it. Yeah. And it was just so cool. So I think I'm going to be sorely disappointed when I ride Tiana's, but I need to ride it because it was Splash Mountain.
But a big thank you to Eric for joining us. Eric, it was Eric's first podcast. So how did you find it?
Great. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
He's awake. I mean, he's awake, so that's good.
Yeah, it's a good time.
No, nervous, so you know.
Yeah. No, it's totally understandable. It's different to making a video, but like once you get in the swing of it, it's good.
Trust me, Eric. Jason had to really pull me in to do these things because I was always behind the camera all the time. I never liked to be in front of the camera.
Right. Now you don't shut up.
Yeah, now I can't shut up. And
now it's
now you're out of the show.
When I first met Steve, Jay was like the front man, and Jay was like, "And this is Steve. He doesn't talk much." Was like, "Oh, that's fair enough." Now,
I don't know what happened.
Choose your ear off.
Yeah.
It's probably my fault.
Yeah. No, it's all our doing. It's my fault technically.
It's all your fault.
It's all my fault.
Yep.
I'm the one that got us all together. Like I had them all on my podcast to begin with, and then we all just became like besties. Really good friends. So yeah, little besties.
Yeah. Awesome.
Little besties, Shaz. Little besties.
So Eric, you need to come on ours and do a ride through with all of us.
Yeah,
sure. We do it every Friday at like. What time was it? Eastern.
It'll be 8 Eastern.
8 Eastern.
8 Eastern.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's one.
Because we're 5 Pacific and 8 Eastern. So you'll have to join us one time. You get to pick a ride and something that maybe we haven't done yet. And
I've got a list.
Yeah, Shaz's got a list. So
because yesterday we did Jungle Cruise. So in Magic Kingdom.
twice, and they were both terrible.
It was both terrible.
Backside of water, huh?
And
Yeah.
The
You know
first
what?
boat, the
Zach-
first boat, the skipper was awesome, and the people were rubbish. And on the
Yeah.
second
Yeah.
boat, the people were rubbish, and so was the skipper.
Yeah.
Now,
And
you know
Zach's
what
the
I'm-
only one yelling
Yeah.
O2H, and he's in the live stream. He's not even in the ride.
The only, you know what I found hilarious as well? Chris uploaded a new version of the Jungle Cruise today, and I was like,
Oh, he did?
Oh, we're gonna have to watch that now.
I was going to say
Oh,
that's
that's too
perfect
funny.
timing. I was
He
like, that's
probably
great.
saw how terrible the versions were that we watched yesterday, and
Yeah.
thought, "I've got to do it again."
Gotta do
We
it
have a
again.
friend, Chris. He LMG Vids. He does all these POVs and stuff, and he has a really cool camera. So we usually use his videos and everything. And he's a super nice guy. So
No, but thank you so much for everyone for joining here. Eric, thank you so much for joining. It's been a pleasure to have you on, man. It really has. I hope you've enjoyed. Hope we've not scared you too much on your first podcast.
No, you haven't.
Good. A big shout out to the crew, Steve, Shaz, and Lewis, for coming in and just being awesome and helping out as much as you can. Always a pleasure to have everyone on. But yeah, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Eric, if I know you've got a channel, so do you want to give that a shout out as well? And all your links will be in the description down below.
Okay, yeah, it's an audio only podcast at the moment. It's called Gamepad Saga, and we just talk about anything video games, as far as console games. Might even talk about the crash of 1983 with video games. So
yeah,
Nice.
I remember that.
Me too. You wouldn't, Zach, because you weren't alive.
No, I wasn't born. No,
Yeah,
I wasn't born. That was a year before I was born.
hey, same here. So
There we go. See, there we go.
And
But yeah, I'd love to come and talk on the podcast if you want. If you ever need a guest or anything like that, I'm happy to do.
yeah, sounds
Come
good.
on and support.
yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Be nice.
We
nice
got
to
all
some new
gamers
ones.
here, so
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, but all links will be down in the description below. Obviously, you've got Shaz from Middle Age Magic. You've got Expedition Steve, his channel as well. Go and check them both out. They both do some fantastic stuff. I was recently on Shaz's channel. Did an interview over there, so that was a lot of
no,
fun.
I have to watch that.
Yeah, Steve.
You'll like it.
Yeah, Steve was on there as well.
Yeah,
Being very serious for him.
Being very serious. This isn't normal for Steve.
No.
And Lewis, who is currently a little preoccupied with whatever he's doing, poor guy. He's our Disney resident. He knows everything Disney.
he's part of our team.
He's part of the crew, man. He's part of the
Yeah.
team. Like he keeps us all afloat. He's the sane one, I think.
He's most definitely the sane one out of us all.
But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Stick around here if you want more podcast episodes and more movie reviews, cooking videos, audio sessions of Twisted Tales novels, Disney vlogs, and all that kind of stuff. Anything Disney, it's right here on this channel. But yeah, thank you all so much, and we'll see y'all real soon. Peace.